Hey guys, this is Robb with AIM. Just wanted to take a few minutes to go over some of the stretches relevant to the lower back. If you haven't had a chance to do so, you need to, before watching this video, you need to look at the video that discusses stretching the quadriceps, the front of the legs, hamstrings, back of the legs, inner thighs, and outer thighs, as well as calves. The reason being is a lot of times people will complain that they've got a lower back issue going on, when actually the problem is they have tight quads. And what you have to understand is once the quads tighten up, what that does is that pulls on the front of the hips, which then causes it to tilt. Okay? When the hips tilt forward because of the tight quadriceps, what that does, it creates a lordosis, tension in the lower back. What it'll also do is it'll increase your tension on your hamstrings, because as the hips rotate forward, what we call anterior rotation, the hamstrings get brought up into a tighter range of motion. They get extended. Okay? Unfortunately, a lot of times that pain will manifest itself in the small of the back, so people are like, oh, I need to stretch my back. The stretches that we're going to show you right now are based on the principle that you've already stretched your quadriceps, your hamstrings, and your inner and outer thighs. Okay? With that being said, what we want to do is we want to show you a couple of stretches that you can do for lower back. Okay? One of the things that you need to make sure is that you're warmed up before you go into any stretches. Okay? By doing so, you get the tissue warmed up. Whether you're going to be doing any activity whatsoever, you want to make sure that you've gotten some kind of activity completed before you try to stretch your lower back. Think about it kind of like a rubber band that's been sitting in the refrigerator or even wet and put into a freezer. You take it out and immediately try to extend it. What it does is it's going to snap. All right? Your muscles are no different than that, especially if you're in a cold weather environment, or you're doing it during or you live in an area of cold weather, or you're just getting up out of bed in the morning, because the blood centralizes around the heart and strives to keep it safe first and foremost. So we're just going to show you a couple exercises here for lower back. The one thing that you can do is, as benign as it seems to do, is simply lock your legs and just try to bend over and almost act like you're arching your back like a cat. Okay? And what that's going to do is it's going to go ahead and it's going to cause your spine to start to arc this way, and the muscles that run on either side of your spine, the erector spinae group, what that's going to do is that's going to cause those to gently lengthen and loosen up. Okay? Now, I've already completed a couple sets of jump rope before doing this, so I'm not starting it cold. I'd recommend you do the same thing, some form of activity, even if it's something as benign as going out and walking. Okay? I'm warmed up, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to reach for my toes. I may feel my hamstrings start to grab a little bit, but the idea here is I'm really trying to focus on arching my back. By pressing my belly button up through my spine, it causes my lower back to arch up. And I'm just going to go down gradually. And I'm not trying to stretch hamstrings in this regard. I'm just focusing on arching, almost like I've got a piece of wood underneath my tummy that's lifting it up. And I just want to arch it. I'm going to hold that for 3 to 5 seconds, and then I'm going to gradually stand up. Each one of these stretches that we do, you want to hold them for 3 to 5 seconds, and you want to try to go through it at least 4 or 5 times per muscle group. And your goal, of course, is that the muscle will slowly relax. Okay? One of the things that you have to understand when you stretch is if you take a muscle through a range of motion too far or you move too quickly, you'll actually engage the stretch reflex, which will cause it to pull extremely quickly on the tendons, and you run the risk of tearing. So please move slowly. When you get into an extended range of motion within that muscle, I want you to sit and hold it. Take a deep breath. That extra oxygen is going to help relax it at a neuromuscular level, okay, which will allow you to deepen that stretch. The next stretch we're going to show you is having you drop down and sit down, okay? Now, the thing that you want to pay attention to on this is actually based on creating tension within the muscle itself. There's a physiological principle that maximum contraction equals maximum relaxation. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, you notice I have my knees bent. I'm not trying to straighten them out, so I'm not trying to focus on hamstrings. I'm trying to isolate my lower back. So what we're going to do is we'll start with our knees bent. I'm going to walk it out a little bit so I feel a little tension in my lower back. Okay? Now, once I'm into that position, I'm just going to focus on taking a couple deep breaths. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold onto my feet, but yet I'm going to push back. Okay? With my lower back, I'm pushing back, but I'm creating resistance with my hands. Where I feel most of the tension is in my lower back and up in between my shoulder blades. That's intentional, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my feet. I'm going to push back, and I'm going to hold that for 5, 4, 3,
2, 1, and then I'm going to relax the tension on my arms, and then I'm just going to see if I can arch my back without any tension on my fingertips. Okay? Similar to what we were doing when we were standing up, but now we're preceding it with a little bit of a tension interval, then we relax. Okay? The concept is maximum contraction equals maximum relaxation. So if I've got that where I'm pressing against my feet, it's putting tension on the small of my back. Okay? Then what that allows me to do is it allows me to relax and it allows me to deepen my stretch that way. And then what you can do is the same thing, except you're going to just make your legs a little wider. Then what you're going to do is you can grab the inside of your feet, and just by trying to get your belly down in between your legs, you're going to feel that in the small of your back again. Notice my knees are bent. I don't want any tension in my hamstrings at all. All I'm trying to do is just get some tension in my lower spine that way. Okay? Same thing. Take my hands, resist. I'm like squatting down and back with my lower back, and you'll feel the tension if you do it correctly. Okay? As you do that, what I want you to be focusing on is just trying to press your lower back that direction, back away from you. Okay? Then when I relax, then what I do is I just try to arch my back again. Just trying to focus on pressing out my lower back. Alright? The next thing we're going to have you do is what we call tees, where you're going to lay flat on your back. Okay? You're going to bring your left leg straight up. Notice that my right leg is straight out. My left leg is straight up. I'm going to bring my hands out to the side, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower that down, and I'm going to just try to keep rotating until my lower back, okay? You'll notice my lower back, okay? You'll see that my shoulders are square on the ground because the whole goal is to make my hips rotate around my spine, okay? If I bring my shoulders up this way, I've taken the angle off my lower back. Hands are straight out here. I'm just trying to bring my legs to the side. Again, lower leg is straight, upper leg is straight. If you get right here and your lower back is killing you, feel free to bend your knee. That's going to take some of the tension off the small of your back. As you get more comfortable with it, you can straighten your legs out. Okay? Once you're here, try to focus on taking a few deep breaths. Now here's where the tension comes in. You're going to try to pull your left glute back towards the floor while trying to keep your toe on the ground. The tension is actually created within the belly of the muscle. Don't worry about trying to hold on to anything. You'll feel that tension in your glutes and in your lower back. Relax, and then see if you can't straighten the leg out a little bit further. All right? Then you just gently bring your knee back, straighten it up, switch legs. Straight leg with the opposite, and I'm just gradually going to the side with my focus. I'm trying to twist my spine, kind of like a DNA molecule, just trying to rotate my spine. Okay? Hold that for 3 to 4 seconds. Focus on breathing. And coming back to the middle. Alright? The last exercise I want to show you, the last stretch rather, is it's another tension interval that you can do when you're standing up. Okay? And what the whole idea here is I'm going to hold on to something that's relatively stationary, and I'm just going to let the tension in the small of my lower back just kind of go backwards as I resist. Okay? Now the whole idea here is you don't need to be yanking and pulling extremely hard. You may feel it even in your lats a little bit. But what you want to do is create enough tension where you just let your small of your back just falls away. And what you're doing is you're creating that tension again. A little bit of tension on the muscles that'll cause it to relax a little bit. So you notice I'm just pulling back, hold that for 3 to 4 seconds, then I take the tension off, and my lower back will stretch even that much further. And remember, what you want to focus on are the muscles. If you're looking at it from the behind, okay, here's your spine. Here's the muscles that run parallel on either side of the spine. They're called the erector spinae group. We want those to get stretched out. Those go into the hip region, so you're going to feel some stretches in your lower glutes as well, okay? So hopefully that'll help get some of the tension out of the lower back. If you supplement that with your stretching of the quads, the hamstrings, and the inner and outer thigh, along with calves, that will be a good extension to getting the lower back to increase its range of motion to get some of the tension off. So until next time, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can go to greatraces.net or motoendurance.net.